Hello everyone and welcome back once again to the Sittingbourne Sunshine, as over my right shoulder Neil Day and Len Silver plotting perhaps Kent King's first National League victory of the season here tonight as the Buxton Hitmen arrive here in town. The two sides have already had two close encounters this season, a narrow win for Buxton up at their place a couple of months ago and then a 45-all draw here in the National Trophy, where their number one Charles Wright dramatically snatched a draw in the final heat to save the day for the Hitmen. Could we see a repeat of that here tonight? Buxton had a bit of a slow start, but they've picked up in recent weeks. They've had a couple of good wins away at Stoke and a terrific win at Mildenhall the other week, which would have certainly made people sit up and take notice. And that man Wright has been banging in maximums left, right and centre. He really is a man on form and will be the man for Kent to try and stop here tonight. As for the home side, well, a good victory over Scunthorpe Saints in that challenge here last week. David Mason settling nicely back into the team, and they'll be looking to hopefully build on that confidence-boosting result with a victory against Buxton here this evening. And indeed, the clash of the number one, Steve Boxall and Charles Wright, should be one to look out for. Before the action gets underway, we'll have a wander around the pit lane and chat to a couple of guys who are lined up here in tonight's match. Well, we're due to catch up with King's reserve Adam Kirby, and here he is. It's been a little while since we spoke to you, Adam. You've had a bit of up and down form, it's fair to say, in that time, but in recent weeks, scores have been getting quite good again. Yeah,
it's been going all right. I just had that little bit of a dip where confidence went a bit low, but it seemed to come back up a bit since I'd done that tactical ride at Mildenhall. And then since then, that's when it came back up, and hopefully keep it going.
Indeed, I mean, especially we notice on around the probably first and second turns, we're going to call it Kirby Corner now, because you seem to find a lot of drive up the inside there, don't you, and catching a few opponents out.
Yeah, it's good. I've finally found a line off that first bend, so it does help. I just need to get my start sorted, so, but should be alright once I get them going.
Well, fair to say riders at all levels have trouble with their starts at times, but I mean generally though, Adam, how's it been with the Kent team? I mean, you've been quite consistent in the team all the time, you kept your place. Obviously we lost Sam with injury and David went out of the team, now he's back in. We've had people like Mark Baldock coming in, breaking the collarbone, and it must be a bit difficult to know if you've got the same teammate every week sometimes.
Yeah, it is a bit difficult at times, but I just try to keep myself to myself, keep going and try to score points. So, but been finding it hard at times, but it's going right now. I've got a new engine, so.
What is that for tonight? Is that been tried out, or you've had that recently?
Had that last week when I scored them points. Right. So, because I blew engine at Big Star at Isle of Wight, and it was more. Well, it was better to get a new engine than repair that one. Well,
it was almost written off, was it, practically, or?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. All right then, mate. Well, what about tonight then? I mean, obviously Buxton have had two close matches with Buxton, a narrow defeat up there, and then a draw here in the National Trophy a couple of months ago. I know Charles Wright's been flying for them, but I guess it's fair to say you anticipate a close match with them. The sides are fairly evenly matched.
Yeah, it will be, but hopefully we can get that win. We need that win, really, but hopefully we'll get it tonight.
Indeed, I mean, after the win against Royale and Scunthorpe in challenges, it'd be good to get, as you say, a competitive win and get some National League points on the board.
Yeah, it'll be good, yeah.
All right, then we'll be looking at Kirby Corner tonight as well, Adam, so have a good one tonight, mate, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Well, usually when Buxton are in town, Jack Lee's the team manager, but tonight, Jane Moss is standing in. Why would that be, Jane? Where is Jack?
Jack's actually at a wedding today. Jane Mudgeway, he used to ride for Buxton. He's getting married today, so he's unavailable.
Have you team managed before in his absence?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, so you roughly know what you're up to then?
I hope so.
Yeah. So what about the team? I mean, the Buxton have had quite a good run of form in recent weeks, largely down to that fella there as well, but things have been going well. Couple of good wins at Stoke and a cracking win at Mildenhall, which certainly made people sit up and take notice.
Yeah, I mean, Stoke was absolutely tremendous. It was the last heat decider. We came, I think it was 12 points down to win by points at the end, and I thought we'd have won the league, really. We were all over the moon. And then to go to Mildenhall as well and win there, I wasn't able to make that, but the lads did a great job again. Charles is leading from the front. You know, he's just getting that many points. We're halfway there with him, really. We just need the other lads to click and we're away.
Indeed, I mean, I know it is a team event, but he has been the standout scorer there. He's been a fantastic form, hasn't he, Charles?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously he can't do it all on his own, and the other lads weigh in with the points. And when they weigh in with the points, that's when we, get the victories, really. So
Indeed, but overall, Jane, I mean, how have things been at Buxton? I mean, they've been at this level since '94, I think, since it all started. I mean, flying the flag for developing young riders. I mean, they're something to look up to, Buxton, for what's achieved there.
Yeah, I think this is our 20th year in the third division. It's had a number of names along the way. We've seen a lot of riders come and go, a lot of riders move on to better things. And that's what Richard's dad set the club up for in the beginning. He wanted somewhere for British kids to ride, to learn the trade and then move on, and I think we tried to keep that ethos after he died with Richard and myself and the rest of the family.
Indeed, and so it should be, I think. And what about tonight's match then, Jane? Quick word about that. I mean, the two sides have had two close matches this season, a narrow win for Buxton up there, a draw here, so I guess you expect another close match?
Yeah, actually the Kent match at Buxton was one of the best we've had at Buxton so far. There was a lot of close racing and both teams were giving it their all. Luckily we got the win, but you know it could so easily have gone the other way. I've got my orders from Jack that we need to win as he got a draw, and he says we were on a roll, but you know Kent have had a couple of changes to their lineup since we came. They look a bit stronger now. We've also got Liam in that we didn't have before, but you know the reserves have swapped places and things, and obviously we're missing Ryan Blacklock today, which you know could be costly for us because you know Adam that's riding today is very inexperienced, but that's what we're about, so we wanted to give him a chance.
Indeed, well hopefully it goes well for him tonight. Well, we'll say thanks for your time, Jane, it weren't so bad, was it? And enjoy it tonight.
Alright, thanks very much.
So we've heard from King's Adam Kirby and Buxton team manager Jay Moss. And before we hand up to tonight's race commentator, we'll say a big happy birthday to start Marshal Ian Glover. Who's going to win tonight, Ian, on your birthday?
Kent.
That'll do. Up to you, Steve.
Well, good to hear from Ian Glover. One word reply, the Kent here going to win here tonight. Let's hope he's right if you are a Kent fan. We'll start with the two lineups, Buxton hitmen. Charles Wright, absolutely outstanding form so far this season, especially in the last few weeks. He's the captain for Buxton. Matt Williamson rides at number 2. He scored good points here in the draw back in June. Ride replacement operating for Tony Atkin at number 3, who's retired from the sport. Haven't been able to get another rider in to take his place as yet. Liam Carr comes in at number 4 for his first visit here. Adam McKinnon, he scored well in the meeting here and up at Buxton as well. Adam Extance is at number 6. We know absolutely nothing about young Adam. Be interested to see how he goes this evening. Tom Woolley, who scored good points here as well. Paid 11. He scored in the drawn match. Will it be a similar performance here this evening? Wait and see on that for the CTA Fire Kings of Kent. Steve Boxall is always the number 1 and captain. Connor Coles is at number 2 at his first race win here at Central Park last week in that 12-point victory over Scunthorpe Saints in the Eurolink Cup. David Mason, what a great return he made at scoring 11 points out of 12 here last week. Benji Compton rides at number 4. Ben Morley is at 5. That's a pretty solid top 5. And Adam Kirby, if he can go round Kirby's corner in his first ride and get some good points. Jack Kingston, he rides at number 7. Much more solid line-up, as we say, for Kent these days. How will they go here this evening? Will they get their first competitive victory? We will find out in the next 15 heats. Heat number 1 will be up next. Hopefully the paramedics have arrived this evening. Of course, we had a 50-minute delay last week, but I'm sure that they are here. Heat number 1 will be getting underway in a moment. So the paramedic has arrived, so have the riders out for heat number 1. Another sun-drenched evening here tonight at Central Park. We've had a few good weeks now, thank goodness, of weather here, as we have throughout the country, of course, and the crowds are starting to flock back to Speedway. It's another good attendance here this evening. Heat number 1 tonight. Kent have won the toss. They've taken gates 1 and 3. Connor Coles comes out off gate number 1. Matt Williamson is off gate number 2. Steve Boxall off gate number 3. Charles Wright comes out off gate number 4. Steve, of course, will be wanting to get revenge over Charles, who came around the outside to beat him in heat 15 in the National Trophy fixture here back in June, which gave the hitmen a draw. But Charles Wright, well, I think he won 26 consecutive races. There must be some sort of record. 2 full maximums, 21-point maximums included in that. Going to be a good one. Heat number 1's underway. Connor Coles has made a brilliant start, and Boxall has as well. Wright is back in third, Williamson in last place. Well, what a start this is for the CTA Fire Kings in the opening race. As Boxall leads, Coles in second place is a bit of a surprise. Charles Wright in third. He is gaining ground on Connor. Williamson tailed off at the back. As Connor, he's just had a quick look behind. He wants to just keep looking ahead as they start the third lap. Boxall is way out in front. They've laid a load more shell down this morning ahead of tonight's meeting. It's working well for Stevie Boxall. Here comes Wright on the inside of Coles. Is he going to take him? It looks like he is. As Connor, well, he's trying to fight back on the outside, but he's just lost out there. But he did marvellously well to hold off the Buxton number 1 for over 3 laps. As Steve Boxall takes the win. 2 points goes to Charles Wright. A battling third place for Coles. Matt Williamson is just crossing the line now. Charles Wright, well, how hard was he made to work for that second place? And well, that could be telling that Steve Boxall was so far in front. Of course, Steve, well, he suffered a couple of defeats here last week in the victory over Scunthorpe, which he would not have been too pleased about. But he certainly would have been pleased with the opening start in heat number 1 here tonight. And we'll just wait for Derek Barkley to give the track record time. Steve, of course, is the track record holder, and he's winning time 58.4 9/10 of a second outside his own track record. He'd just be pleased to got the 3 points at 4-2 for Kent. An excellent start. So we move on to the reserves race, heat number 2, and this one, well, it sees Adam Exton's coming out off gate number 1. Adam Kirby comes out off gate number 2. Gate number 3, that sees Tom Woolley, who scored well here, as we said earlier, in the National Trophy fixture. And off gate number 4 sees Jack Kingston. Now, well, we did have a bit of misinformation that came through to us before the opening race. It was Buxton that won the toss. They took gates 2 and 4 in the opening race. So Kent have got them in heat number 2 as race number 2 gets underway. Woolley's made a pretty good start. Exons has not got off the start line. Kingston's come around the outside. A big crash there for Adam Kirby. Unfortunately, he has come down. Oh dear, crashing fall there. Mick Postlewhite is the referee here this evening, and we are awaiting the decision, and the decision is that it's going to be an exclusion. In fact, it's not Mick Postlewhite at all. A bit more misinformation, or have I think I've just read that wrong off of the programme. Bates and Postlewhite, I must admit they're not that similar. Anyway, it is the decision is that it's 2 riders will be excluded. Adam Kirby coming off. Hopefully he's not injured. The last thing Kent need the informed reserve. And Adam Exton's not under power when the race was stopped, so we're going to go with 2 only, Jack Kingston and Tom Woolley. Let's hope that Adam's back to his feet in a moment or 2. Well, that's a good sign. Adam back to his feet. He's just got a great reception from the crowd here in the home grandstand. And so it looked as if it may have been a collarbone injury. He is holding his left arm, so let's wait and see on that. But hopefully we'll be seeing him again due out in heat number 7. So he's got a bit of a break before his next ride. So such a shame, but we'll have to wait and see whether we'll see him again tonight. So the 2 remaining riders out then for heat number 2. A good start for the home side with that 4-2 in the opener. Tom Woolley, they made a pretty good start, but Jack Kingston had come around the outside of him. And then Adam, of course, running into the side of Tom. Birthday boy Ian Glover trying to get the riders up to the start line. We're about ready to go. Heat number 2 gets underway. Woolley this time has made a good start. Jack Kingston, well, last time he came around the outside, he's staying on the outside line. as they go down the back straight, and now he comes steaming through on the inside. A terrific run move there by Jack Kingston, and that really has thrown Tom Woolley off his line and his concentration somewhat. A brilliant move by Jack. He was very fast indeed going into that corner. We've seen him do that several times, not always with that effect, but that was absolutely superb. The crowd were thrilled by that. It's a 3-2 for Kent in heat number 2, and this would see them move into a 3-point advantage. Tom Woolley, well, he's not looking too happy with track conditions at the moment. There certainly looks like there is more shell down this evening, so we were told that fact earlier on before the meeting. Sometimes the chalk base comes through very early on in the match, but no signs of that so far. Good signs here for Jack Kingston though. He wins heat number 2. Tom Woolley, he gets second place. Oh, in fact, Jack Woolley's come down at the end of that race, and well, we didn't quite catch that. We're not sure what caused that problem. Oh no, well, he is, but I think he's about to get back to his feet. Indeed he is. Hey! Not sure whether he shed a chain or what caused that problem, but he is perfectly okay, and it results in a 3-2 for the home side then. So Kent, will they move on to 7 points? Buxton move on to 4. Exciting end to heat number 2. 2 heat advantages for Kent. So riders out for heat number 3. We may have said the score was 7-5. Our maths has never been that great. 2 and 2 of course is 4. 7 points to 4 the score after 2 races. Heat number 3, and the lineup, we've got Benji Compton coming out off gate number 1. Matt Williamson takes a ride replacement out off gate number 2. Place of the retired Tony Atkin. Buxton are certainly weaker without the experienced Tony. He has not given up all forms of motorsport. He still rides on grass track, which was his first love, but Speedway he has finished with for good, it seems. Off gate number 3, David Mason, where we thought he might have been finished with Speedway a few weeks ago, but no, he was back, and what a debut last week. How will he go tonight? He's off 3. Liam Carr off gate 4. Heat number 3 gets underway. Compton has made a good start. He leads the way. The 2 hitmen are in 2nd and 3rd. Mason at the back. This could be interesting as Compton leads the way from Liam Carr. Williamson in 3rd. Team riding between the 2 hitmen in this one as Magic Mason, well, he's got time on his hands, I'm sure, to find a way past at least one of the hitmen here as they come round a complete lap number 2. Compton is who leads. A good ride this by Carr in 2nd place. Williamson still holding off Magic at the moment, but here comes David on the inside, and we thought he may be able to find a way past one of the Buxton riders, and he's managed to do so. He's moved through in the 3rd spot. Compton doing well out in front. Liam Carr, we were quite impressed with him in 2nd place. His first race here. Mason is back in 3rd. He is gaining ground, but I think the checkered flag is going to come in time for Liam as they cross the line. Compton wins it. 2nd place goes to Liam Carr. 3rd spot to David Mason. Well, we've had plenty of thrills and the odd spill so far this evening. It's another heat advantage for the home side. The crowd very animated indeed after that heat. A 4-2 for the home side. They move on to 11, and Buxton, well, they move on to 6. A 4-2 for the home side. A good start for Benji, and a great ride that one. 2nd place by Liam Carr. So we move on to heat number 4, and the lineup for this one, which sees Jack Kingston most impressive in his first ride. He comes out off at gate number 1. Gate number 2 sees Tom Woolley, beaten by Jack in heat number 2. Gate number 3, that sees the opening ride for young Ben Morley. And from the outside, we got to Adam McKenna, who scored some very good points here back in the National Trophy fixture. He comes out off gate number 4 his last year in the sport. He was telling us before the last meeting here. 11 points to 6 to score. Encouraging start for Kent. Can they get their first National League fixture victory? Oh, and the rider in red, Ben Morley. Well, we know he's a fast starter, but he was a little bit too fast out of the gate in that one. I'm not sure if he touched the tapes. It didn't look like he did. There's no red exclusion light on. And I think he's got away with that. I think we're going to go, we are indeed, we're going to go again with all 4. Lucky boy Ben. So we're going to go again with heat number 4. So Ben not touching the tapes there, so he got away with that. He does make fast starts, so perhaps he didn't really need to anticipate them quite as he did. He had some good outings for Rye House recently, of course. Had about 5 meetings for them recently, 4 or 5, and scored points in all of them. Man of the match here last week in the victory over Scunthorpe in the Eurolink Cup. Heat number 4, Kingston, Woolley, Morley, McKenna from gates 1 to 4. Morley's made a startling start, and Jack Kingston has come through into 3rd place, and now he could be getting 2nd because Adam McKenna's under pressure. Jack Kingston making a move on the inside. He really is fired up tonight, is Jack. He's come through into 2nd place. The crowd are loving this. They've waited a long time for a comprehensive victory for Kent. Not to say they're going to get it tonight, but well, this would open up a 9-point lead after 4 heats, as Morley leads the way from Jack Kingston, riding a stormer in 2nd. McKenna trying to come back at Jack. They start the final lap. Tom Woolley, well, he's not the sort of rider he was here a few weeks ago. He's at the back. McKenna still putting Kingston under pressure. The checkered flag is out. It looks like it's going to be a tapes to flag victory for Ben Morley. He wins it. Jack Kingston, fantastic ride from him. Well, that was superb action. Well, that's one of the loudest cheers we've had here at Central Park. A big 5-1 in heat number 4 as Jack came through into 2nd place, getting past Adam McKenna in thrilling fashion, and a 5-1 for the home side, their first of the night. They move on to 16, Buxton on to 7, a 9-point lead. Well, super stuff from the Kings. We move on to heat number 5. And the news has just come through that Adam Kirby has had to withdraw from the meeting with an arm injury following that spill in heat number 2, and that is very unfortunate for Adam. Hopefully the rest of the lads can get a victory for him. Heat number 5 sees Matt Williamson off gate number 1, no points from his first 2 rides. David Mason off 2, Charles Wright off 3, Benji Compton won his first ride, he comes out off gate number 4. Heat number 5's underway. And well, that's a super start by Williamson, and Charles Wright as well has made a good gate, and Buxton are hitting back. Here comes Compton around the outside of Williamson. He's got up into 2nd place, but it is still a heat advantage for the visitors as Magic Mason, well, he found a way past Matt in heat number 3. But Matt, well, he looks a little bit quicker in this one. Charles Wright most certainly does as well, because he leads the way. Compton in 2nd place, Williamson riding well in 3rd, Mason at the back, and Buxton, well, he could be reducing that lead by a couple of points here as they come in to start the final lap. Charles Wright, well, he looks like he's going to get back to doing what he's been doing for the last few weeks, that's winning speedway races. He's out in front, and he's going to come round and take the win. 2nd place goes to Compton, 3rd spot to Matt Williamson. He did well to hold off David Mason in that one, who would be disappointed with 0 points. A 4-2 for the Hitmen. They hit back, and that means that they move on to 11, but Kent still lead. They are on 18. Heat number 6, the riders are out on track. Steve Boxall comes out off gate number 1, winning his first ride. Gate number 2 sees Adam McKenna, he only got 3rd place in his first outing. Gate number 3, Connor Coles, who made a great start in heat 1. Gate number 4, Adam Extons. We haven't really seen what Adam's capable of. He didn't get very far in his first ride. Steve Boxall leads the way out of the start. He's gone out wide. Connor Coles missed out at the gate. He's at the back, although he's come through on the inside of Adam. Extons into 3rd place. It's a 4-2 for Kent then in race number 6 as Steve Boxall. He's charging out in front. He really is setting his stall out here this evening. Connor Coles is certainly gaining with confidence over the last few weeks. He's chasing down Adam McKenna. Excellence is tailed off at the back. It looks as if it's going to be at least a 4-2 for Kent as they start the final lap. Steve Boxall leading the way. McKenna in second, Coles in third. As they come around to take the checker flag, it's going to be 2 wins out of 2 for the bronze helmet holder. As Steve, well, he got very close with his rear wheel to the white line there on that final lap, but I'm sure that was fine. Eagle-eyed Mick Bates would spot if there was anything untoward, but there's no exclusion light on, so that was fine. A 4-2 for Kent. They regain their 9-point advantage. They move on to 22 with Buxton on to 13. Steve celebrates in style when he goes through the card here this evening. Race number 7 and the programme fillerinners are about to make a couple of changes here as Charles Wright takes a ride replacement off gate number 1. Ben Morley comes out off 2. Liam Carr is off 3 and Jack Kingston replaces the injured Adam Kirby off at gate number 4. 22-13 the lead. This could be a good battle between Ben Morley and Charles Wright, but don't forget young Jack Kingston, who's on page 6 after his first 2 rides. Intriguing heat number 7 coming up out of the start, and it is Wright who's made a good gate. Morley trying to go with him as they go down the back straight. Oh, it's getting very tight indeed. Liam Carr is in third. Kingston is at the back as they come around to complete lap number 1. Then it is Charles Wright who leads. Morley in second spot. Liam Carr, they impressed us in his first ride with a couple of points. Former National Junior League champion 2011. He's in third spot with Jack Kingston. Well, he may not be scoring anything in this race, but he's still battling away in last position. Well, it is super smooth Charles Wright who leads the way. The Hitmen, well, are they getting their setup sorted out now? They had a 4-2 in heat number 5. They look like they're going to get another one here in heat number 7. This will reduce the lead once again to just 7 points as Wrighty wins his second race in a row. 2 points for Morley, 1 to Liam Carr. With Jack, we just took a tumble on that final lap off that final bend, but he seems perfectly okay. A 4-2 for the visitors then in heat number 7. Kent move on to 24. Buxton on to 17. It could still turn out to be a very close fixture, this one. Charles Wright winning his second race in a row. So moving on to heat number 8. We've had a bit of a wait for Jack Kingston, but he's not coming out in this one. So Connor Coles by himself against Matt Williamson and Tom Woolley. Out of the start it is Williamson who's made a good start off at gate number 3. He leads the way. Coles is giving chase. Woolley back in third. It's another heat advantage for Buxton. This, well, if it stays like this, it will reduce the gap to 5 points. So this national fixture very much still up in the offing as Williamson, well, he's made a mistake and Connor has slipped through on the inside. In the first place, he had his first race victory here last week against the Scunthorpe Saints, and this could be his second one as he leads the way then from Williamson in second, Woolley in third, and there's still no sign of the chalk base coming up, which is a good sign. They planned the promotion. They did say that they would be laying more shell down as the season wore on, and well, it's certainly the case as Connor Coles, well, he's going to come round and take a victory here in heat number 8. The best Kent could have hoped for is a shared heat. That's exactly what they've got, the first one of those this evening, as Williamson finishes second, Woolley in third, a 3-all then, and that means that Kent maintain their 7-point advantage. They move on to 27 the Hitmen on to 20. A fine win there for Connor. Moving swiftly on to heat number 9, and Adam McKenna comes out off gate number 1. 3 points from his first 2 rides. Gate number 2, that sees Benji Compton. He started off well tonight. He's had a few average meetings here of late for Kent, but he scored 5 points so far from his 2 rides. Gate number 3, that sees Adam Exton struggling a bit here this evening. First visit to Central Park from the outside. David Mason, who is struggling as well. It must be said, just 1 point from his first 2 rides. After having his storming return to the sport with Kent here last week. What can he do off gate number 4? Can we see some of the old magic out at the start? It looks like we may be able to. Compton has made a good start. Mason, can he get round the outside of McKenna? He can indeed. It's a 5-1 for Kent. And this has certainly got the crowd going at the end of lap number 1. Benji Compton, it is who leads the way from Mason in second. McKenna, well, he's certainly putting plenty of pressure on Magic. As Extons, well, he is struggling in this one as well. Couple of laps to go, and a 5-1 beckons perhaps for Kent to be their second of the night, and it would see them move 11 points in front, which of course does mean that Buxton could use a tactical ride in the next race. They've got ride replacement rider coming out in that one, and Liam Carr as well. So Jane Moss, well, who will she give it to a rider in that one, or leave it till heat number 11 for Charles Wright? But a superb 5-1 for Kent in heat number 9 then, as Benji Compton. Well, he's scored 8 points out of a possible 9 here this evening. Terrific stuff from him, and a great ride there by David Mason to come through into second place. Getting the better there of Adam McKenna. So Kent, well, they move on to 32. Buxton move on to 21. Is that first competitive victory just around the corner. So we're moving on to heat number 10, and Adam McKenna was the rider due out as a ride replacement out him, but he missed the 2-minute time allowance, so he's having to start off 15-metre handicap. He comes out off gate number 4. The other riders move across. Connor Coles comes out off gate number 1, with Matt Williamson coming out off at gate number 2. Steve Boxall now off 3, and Adam McKenna 15 metres back off gate number 4. So chances perhaps for Kent to get further ahead. Take 11 points the lead at the moment. Jane Moss has resisted the temptation to bring Adam or Liam out on the black and white helmet. So I think that'll be safe for Wright in heat number 11. This is heat number 10. Race starts, and Steve Boxall's bike powered him to the front there, as Connor Coles is in second spot. Third place, Liam Carr. Adam McKenna at the back. It's another 5-1 for Kent. These are heady days for the home side, as Steve Boxall leads the way, charging around that first and second bend. He really has got one of the most exciting styles in Speedway as he comes round to complete lap number 2. He's storming ahead, pulling wheelies now down the home straight. Connor Coles holding on to second place. Williams with Carr in third. Oh, Liam Carr's in problems. It's getting very, very tight for second, third and fourth. As Connor Coles, can he hold on to his position? Here comes McKenna on the inside. And Adam, well, he looks like he's got the speed perhaps, but Coles trying to keep him at bay. They go down the back straight for the final time. Boxall's going to win it with ease. But Connor Coles, well, is he going to hold off Adam McKenna? Terrific race for second, and no, he is not. Oh, he really must stop looking behind, especially mid-corner. I think that Peter just kept his eyes on front. He may have been able to hold off Adam McKenna in that one. A bit of inexperience there from the youngster. He nearly got a paid win, but as it stands, it was a 4-2-4. Kent, another heat advantage, a 4-2, as the home side. Well, they now move on to 36 points, and Buxton move on to 23, 13 points the lead. Charles Wright, well, we know what helmet he'll be wearing in the next race. That'll be coming up next. we move on to heat number 11. We understand it's going to be an interval after this one. We've only been racing an hour, so this time last week we'd only completed a couple of heats with the late arrival of the paramedics, so well on time to beat the curfew this evening. The line-up: Ben Morley off gate number 1, winning the second so far. Gate number 2, Charles Wright, wearing that black and white helmet as we suspected. A second and 2 victories for him. Gate number 3 sees Jack Kingston coming in for Adam Kirby. And off gate number 4, Matt Williamson has improved as the meeting has worn on and scored a couple of points in his last ride. 36-23 the lead. Morley, well, he was beaten by Charles Wright in heat number 7. Can he gain his revenge off gate number 1? Gate number 1 so far, well, there has been 3 race winners off of that gate position so far. Wright has lifted, and surely Morley will be able to hold on, will he? As they go down the back straight. Oh, there's problems there, all sorts of problems there between Matt Williamson and Jack Kingston. 2 races going on in this one. Out in front is Morley, who leads the way. Charles Wright is giving chase. As it stands at the moment, it is a 5-3 to the visitors as Ben Morley leads. Coming round a complete lap number 2. Charles Wright, though, he's not that far behind, as you can see. Coming round the outside of Morley, looks like he's got the speed, but Morley, well, he cuts him off there. Exciting action in heat number 11. This is a terrific race from Ben. Can he get his revenge over Charles Wright, one of the top riders in the National League? As they go down the back straight for the final time. Morley leads the way. He's ridden a wheel perfect race. As Charles Wright, a last attempt here, he's not going to do it. Ben Morley wins it. Great action in that one. Second place goes to Charles Wright. Third spot, Jack Kingston. And there's a bit of afters there between Morley and Wright. I don't think Charles was too happy. Oh, a bit of finger wagging as well. Always goes down well with a crowd, that does. As they go back into the pits. And, well, I wonder if there'll be any afters in there. There was in the match between Ipswich and Edinburgh last Thursday, which resulted in Craig Cook being excluded from the meeting for violent behaviour because of what happened in the pits after heat number 1. He had a coming together with Ben Barker, Team GB teammates, but, well, you wouldn't have thought so, apparently, what happened at Vauxhall, but well, that was a bit calmer. A 4-2 for the home side, 4 races remain in, and it does mean that Kent move on to 40. Sorry, that's not a 4-2 at all. That is a... Hang on, I'll be with you in a second. I'm just trying to work it out. It's a 4-all. It's a 4-all. Say maths was never my strong subject at school. And it's 40 points to Kent, 27 to Buxton. Still 13 points between the sides. 4 races remain. I think we're going to have an interval, and just as well, all's the booze ring round for Charles Wright. So moving on to heat number 12, we've had a 20-minute or 15-minute interval break. Still got plenty of time to get these last 4 races in. Heat number 12, David Mason comes out off gate number 1. Adam Extance is off gate number 2. Gate number 3, that sees Jack Kingston off gate number 4, wearing the black and white helmet. That is Adam McKenna taking a rider replacement out in again. Heat number 12, 40-27 is the score out of the start, and where there's some lifter. In fact, that's Liam Carr. We do apologise for that. That is Liam Carr, who's in the black and white helmet. He's coming around the outside of Magic. He's moved her into first place. Exciting ride by Liam as Jack Kingston, well, he's got up into third ahead of Extance. So this would be a 6-3 to the visitors as it stands at the moment, as young Carr leads the way from Mason in second place. Good action on the opening lap. Here comes Extance back on the inside of Kingston. 2 good races going on in this one as out in front Carr loses control slightly. It's very interesting, this one. We need couple more cameras on this race as Carr still leads the way. Mason in second with the rider in blue, that is Jack Kingston in third. Is settling down now as they come round and take the checkered flag. Liam Carr, well, this is going to be an excellent victory for him in heat number 12. He wins it, gains a big 6 points. Second place goes to David Mason, third spot to Jack Kingston. Seen some exciting action here tonight, and that results, say, in a 6-3 for the visitors. That closes the gap to 10 points with 3 races remaining. Buxton, well, they can still win here with 3 5-1s. They can still get a draw with 2 5-1s and a 4-2, which is what they did here a few weeks ago, but Kent will be wanting to wrap up the match in the next race. What can Boxall and Morley do against Wright and McKenna? So we move on to heat number 13, and could this be the heat that sees Kent win their first competitive fixture? They need a 3-all, that will be good enough, and well, they've got a strong lineup. They're 2 riders, they won 5 out of their 6 races so far. Steve Boxall comes out off gate number 2, Ben Morley off gate number 4, Charles Wright comes out off gate number 1, Adam McKenna comes out off gate number 3. 43-33 is the lead. Steve, well, I know he'll be wanting to get back to maximum man here this evening. He's had 1 or 2 this season. He had one against Stoke. He also had at home, and he's also had away maximums at Isle of Wight and also Stoke as well. Also against the Islanders, he had a maximum here. Heat number 13. Race gets underway. Wright has made a good start from the inside though, and it is he that leads the way. Oh, it's very tight indeed. Boxall's moved through in a second spot. This is going to be a cracking heat. Morley is in third, McKenna at the back. As the riders complete the opening lap, McKenna's out in front. Here comes Steve Boxall storming through on the inside. The crowd are roaring their approval. Wright comes back at him on the inside. What a heat of speedway this is. It's a 4-2 for Kent, and this would seal at a home win tonight in the National League if it stays like that. This Steve Boxall, he's in unbeatable form, inspirational form here this evening. He leads the way. He's going to defeat Charles Wright for the second time tonight. Third place, a good third spot for Morley, ahead of McKenna as they go down the back straight, and Steve Boxall is going to win the race, which will seal victory for Kent tonight. Stevie Boxall, fantastic race by him, as Charles Wright has to settle for second place. Ben Morley in third. No points for Adam McKenna for the first time this evening, and that means Kent have won their first competitive fixture here at Central Park or anywhere else for that matter. That's absolutely superb. 4 wins out of 4 for Steve Boxall, and he's coming round to receive the rapturous applause from the supporters here this evening. A fantastic effort by the Kent number 1 and captain, riding like a true skipper here this evening. So 12 points in front, 2 races remaining. Can Kent collect all 3 points available to them? So just a couple of races remaining, and heat number 14. This one sees Jack Kingston coming out for Adam Kirby. We just had a few words with Adam actually before, during the interval break. He just walked past us here in the main grandstand, and he's got a hand injury. He does hope to be riding tomorrow evening. He's got his arms in a sling, but say with these speedway riders, they are a breed unto themselves. So hopefully Adam will be out on track. Of course, Kent face a stiff task tomorrow at the home of the Dudley Heathens before the visit of Coventry Storm here next Monday. That's going to be another cracker. Kingston off 1, Liam Carr did very well in his last ride. He's off 2, Compton off 3, Woolley from the outside. Carr is, who's made another good start. We'd say we was impressed with him in his first ride, and we've been impressed with him in his last couple as well. He leads the way, Compton's come through. As Carr, well, that is unfortunate for Liam. He's had engine failure. Jack Kingston's been passed by Tom Woolley. Jack will be open to come through on the inside. Oh, Jack! No, he's done it. Oh dear, he's done that once or twice as Jack, and I'm afraid that is an immediate disqualification for him, and also for Liam Carr, who wasn't under power when the race was stopped. So heat number 14, we will be going with only 2 riders. Tom Woolley back to on his bike, and Benji Compton. Well, there'll be the 2 coming out in the rerun of heat 14.
Now the rider in blue, Jack Kingston.
Right. So here we go then with the rerun of heat number 14. Compton off 3, Woolley off 4. As the race gets underway, and young Tom has made a good start. Compton nose bike got him to the front. He leads the way, and this would seal all 3 points. Oh no, young Tom Woolley. Well, he's pulling out of this one. And he looks like he's got going again. I think that could well have been the fuel taps turned off. It's been done before, it will be done again. Tom has got going once more. Benji Compton is who leads the way. He's gone around about his business very quietly, but very confidently here this evening. This will be 3 wins out of his 4 rides. Big bang going on. I think that was his bit of a backfire there. He's still going, thank goodness. As Benji comes round to complete lap number 3, and this will give Kent an unassailable lead of 13 points going into the final race regarding the extra point, so they will collect 3 points here tonight. So they have got some tougher opposition coming as Compton. Oh no, what's going on now? Oh no, is he going to be able to keep going? Yes, he is. Oh, well, he had a bit of a moment there. He does cross the line. Tom Woolley gets 2 points in second place. Oof, we do have a few incidents in Heat 14, it seems to be. 3-2 in that one. Kent hit the 50-point mark. Buxton move on to 37, as we were saying earlier. 3 points garnered for Kent here this evening. So the riders out for heat number 15, and at the lineup we see Charles Wright coming out off gate number 1. He's had 2 wins and 3 second places so far. Gate number 2, that sees the impressive Ben Morley. He has had 2 wins, a second and a third, as we just had the lights going on. Not quite sure what's going on. Well, Benny's pulled away from the start. He's got going again, thank goodness. So Ben comes out off gate number 2. Adam McKinnon comes out off gate number 3. He hasn't had a race win so far, but the rider on his outside, Steve Boxall, most certainly has 4 rides of 4 victories for Steve. So really must commend the track staff here tonight. A superb racing surface, and of course Steve Boxall is part of that track staff. Can he win his final race? Out of the start, Morley has cut across right. He leads the way. Steve Boxall comes around the outside, and here comes Steve. It looks like he could be getting a full house here tonight as the riders come around to complete lap number 1. Boxall out in front as he has been all evening. He leads the way. Morley riding a stormer in second place. Looks like he could be getting his revenge over Charles Wright, although of course it's 1-1 between the pair of them. Right back in third, McKinnon at the back. A 5-1 for Kent. It's heady days this for the CTA Fire Kings. They could hit the 55-point mark here and win by 17 points. As they start the final lap then, it is Steve Boxall. It is going to be a quite magnificent maximum for him surely, as they go down the back straight for the final time. He's going to come round and take the checkered flag. Well, the crowd have had so much to cheer about here this evening. Certainly the best meeting of the season for Kent. They've collected 3 points with ease here, as it's turned out. They won by 55 points to 38. And Steve Boxall, he collects a full house, a full maximum. And certainly his best one for the CTA Fire Kings at home. A superb effort by him, coming round to receive the applause. And Ben Morley, well, don't forget him, he joined him for the 5-1 in heat number 15. A terrific effort. Some of the crowd standing up to Ben and to Steve. And the riders were there making their way back into the pits following that 5-1. And a 55-38 victory for the home side then. And now we're, after Steve finishes his wheelie celebrations, we will be having the victory parade of the team as Steve continues on his merry way. It's hard to get him off the track, and no wonder. Brilliant effort by him. We will be chatting with Steve this evening following that max, but say before that we'll give you this evening's point scorers. So he just doesn't want to get off, does he? Come on, Steve. People have got homes to go to.
first start in the National League when they took the movement.
So the victorious Kent Kings getting their first National League points on the board, doing their post-match victory lap, and Adam Kirby there, bless him, who's damaged his hand as we mentioned earlier, going round as well. Top man tonight for the home team was number 1 Steve Boxall with a brilliant 15 max. Connor Cole scored 6, including a heat win. David Mason weighed in with paid 6. Benji Compton 11 from his 4, just dropping a point. Ben Morley 11 and 1 from his 5. Exciting stuff from Ben, clashing with Charles Wright. Adam Kirby falling in his first one, of course, injuring himself. Jack Kingston scoring paid 9 from the 7 outings he was forced to take in Adam's absence. As for the hitmen, consoling themselves back in the pits, and that's Steve Boxall there, risking a little semi-wheelie with a youngster on board with him, bless him. Charles Wright, not surprisingly, with 15, led the scoring for the hitmen. 3 from Matt Williamson, 9 from Liam Carr, he scored well, including a tactical victory. Adam McKenna weighed in with 6. Adam Extance, he failed to score, very young and inexperienced, and Tom Woolley scored paid 6. Jack Kingston over there by the start line getting the man of the match award. Might get some champagne if he's lucky. We'll amble over to the pits in a second, have a few words with the top man here tonight. Well, a great National League victory for the Kings tonight, led by number 1 Steve Boxall. Great night for you, Steve, and a great night for the team. Good win over Buxton.
Yeah, no, it was good. It's been due, really, a win for the boys. I mean, with David back in the team, no disrespect to Sam, but he's obviously come, and we've had 2 match wins. He's given us a bit of a boost, I think, to the team. I think we've all got a race win tonight, so no, I think things are going good at the minute.
Track was looking good as well out there tonight.
I've been ill since I'd done the track last Wednesday just gone, and since then I've been ill, like, really bad, like sickness bug. But I didn't work on the track today, and they had new dirt delivered today. I think they put about 15 tonne on the track.
They'll keep you off it now.
No, it was pretty good actually, the track today. But I'll be back here again Wednesday doing the track with Len. So hopefully we can spread it out a little bit more evenly this time.
Indeed, I mean, as captain, obviously you've got to do your own thing, but how well did the boys rally round today, losing Adam in his first race? I mean, Jack Kingston had to take 7 rides, but didn't seem to faze the team at all.
Yeah, no, it's a shame that Adam had his accident, but no, I think throughout the whole team, every single one of us have done really well tonight, and it's proved that as we've got a win under our belt. So, yeah, no, it's good. Hopefully we can take what we've achieved today on the track to the track tomorrow at Wolverhampton.
Indeed, and you had 3 races with Charles Wright today and won them all.
Yeah, no, that's good because he's a good trapper. He did outgate me and won, but he just stepped off the line a bit and I nicked up the inside of him. So, no, it's always good to get one over Charles. He's a good rider.
Well, you kind of flew underneath him, but you mentioned tomorrow you're up to Dudley tomorrow, which will be a tough one. And I believe you've got to defend the bronze helmet as well.
Yeah, Blackbird beat me twice round here on my own track last time, so hopefully I can go up there and beat him more than twice round his track.
Yeah, well, that was another day tomorrow night. So, well, good luck with that tomorrow, Steve, and well done tonight, mate. Brilliant.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well, the future stars of tomorrow, maybe a future Ben Morley. Who knows? Ben rode very well tonight, of course, helping Steve at the top end of the team to help Kent to that excellent victory, 55-38 against the Buxton Hitmen, who showed some good form in recent weeks, especially their number 1, Charles Wright, of course, who's been getting maximums left, right and centre, but he didn't quite manage that tonight. He did lead the charge naturally for them, and Lewis Carr backed him up to a degree, but it didn't quite work out for the Hitmen tonight. And it's Kent Kings who get their first competitive victory of the season and 3 big points in the National League. The Kings are off to Dudley tomorrow night, which will be a tough one indeed. As we mentioned to Steve Boxall just now, he's got to defend his bronze helmet if he can against the on-form Lewis Blackbird. And we're back here a week tonight when the Coventry Storm come to town, so that should be another intriguing clash for the Kings. So until then, it's good night and take care from Rerun Productions.